I'm Mr. Knife Fighter. Today we're going to cover the basics of knife fighting and knife defense for if someone comes at you either to take your wallet or to take your life. These are not going to be the techniques that you learn in a dojo. Those techniques will probably get you killed. They're too complicated. These techniques are extremely basic but extremely effective. Let's get started. Alright, so the basic things that most schools will teach you, if somebody draws a knife on you and has it up, they teach you, if you have a knife, don't draw your weapon. I completely disagree with that. If somebody's coming at you with a lethal weapon, that probably means they're coming at you with lethal intent. That means they're going to kill your ass. You need to avoid that at all costs. So if they draw a weapon, if you can get to your weapon, get to your weapon. If you can't, then you need to know how to defend against it so that you can get to your weapon in the future. So for example, if he's going to come at me with a thrust, I'm going to block out and try to go to my weapon if I can get onto his hand. He's going to come at me with a stab, I'm going to block out and do the same thing, going for that weapon. If I don't think he's going to just let me do that, which is probably the more realistic choice, he's going to do any kind of strike. I'm going to go in and I'm going to strike his throat, push him off, and then go to my weapon. So let's say he comes at me with a stab. I'm going to deflect, contact the elbow. Elbow is a really weak point in the human body. If you strike that with anything, it's probably going to hurt a lot. I'm going to strike to the chest, push him off, draw my weapon. So let's go over that block a little bit. So say he's going to thrust down. You're going to step off of your center line and lift your arm up, deflecting against his forearm. His knife is pointed directly at me. It's very threatening. I'm going to turn my hand around and re-grab his wrist to turn his arm down. Then I can strike the elbow, I can strike the face, I can strike the chest, but the main goal is to hit that elbow and to hit right in that neck area to cause maximum damage with minimum effort. So after I've hit there, push him off, draw your weapon. Now if you have your weapon in different carry positions, it'll make it easier or harder depending on how you carry it. So let's say you have your knife already drawn and you're someone who can get your weapon out quickly and efficiently. He comes at me with that first stab, I can cut to that elbow instead of having to worry about anything else. The main thing you want to keep in mind is if you can maim them or injure them so severely that they stop their attack, that might be enough. Don't go straight for the kill. If you go straight for the kill when there's proof that you could have done less to keep the situation at hand, you're probably going to get prosecuted. Only kill is a last resort. So if he comes at me and I cut, and I just cut right to the throat, the cops are going to say, why'd you just cut his throat? Why didn't you just take the knife away? It's going to be rough, but it's better than having your throat cut. So one more time. He comes in. I can cut to the arm. I can cut across the chest. If you cut somebody across the face, that's a huge trauma point. They're going to immediately grab your face, wouldn't you? Yeah. All right, for non-lethal options, if you don't want to go that extra foot to get that kill, if you don't want to kill the person, but you just want to hurt them enough to get them away, which should be your first choice anyway, draw your weapon, but don't open it. If it's a folding knife, don't open it. If it's a single piece knife, just use the butt cap. The end that's not pointy. So I'm going to have him attack. I'm going to deflect the attack, get him off of me, draw my weapon, and the second time he does that, I'm going to hammer him either right in the bridge of the nose with that butt cap, the side of the face. I can hammer the elbow on the inside. You can hammer in the sternum. Anywhere you hit with that is going to ruin somebody's day. If you just hit them once in the side of the face, they're going to go down. If they don't go down, that's when you draw the lethal option. Alright, now I'm going to show how to use that block I showed you as a disarm. It's very effective, it works quite well, and in my experience it's the best way to get the knife away from somebody if they're coming down at you. So he's going to come down at me with a stab, step in and do that block. You're going to re-grab, and you're going to pull your hand down into your waist. Just like if you do any martial arts, your hands rotate back into your hip, almost like chambering a gun. So he's going to strike, I'm going to block, grab, and pull my hand down to my wrist. Pull my hand down to my waist. And that's going to put his arm in an awkward angle, but it also pushes the blade away from me. So if I just push my arm out a little bit, he's going to lose grip on that knife. He stabs, I'm going to block, rotate. You can step in if you want, but you want to pull that hand down to your waist. Now he's holding on to that really tight. If it's not going all the way, you can push with your hand on the side of the blade to get that out. From there, you can elbow the head, you can strike to the temple. A friend of mine's personal favorite, which is, you're gonna probably get a mayhem charge for this, but it's very effective. You can grab the head and jam both thumbs as hard as you want into the eyes. If you follow your hand like a guide, it will lead the thumb right into the eye socket. So you can grab both of your hands and just jam them into the eye sockets. I don't care how badass they think they are, if they're on PCP, if they don't have eyes, they can't fight. They're no longer a threat. They're going to be laying on the ground, crying like a little bitch. It's just what happens. Other techniques, say he goes for that, goes for a thrust. I can go to the bottom of the hand, striking, blocking low. You can re-grab with both hands and throw them off balance. I heard his wrist pop a little bit, and that was just from doing it lightly. We'll go over this technique a little more in detail in a further lesson later down the line, but that's another good one you can use. Then you can strike the side of the head wherever you want.